In this question, we want to give Jerry advice about which payment option would be best. He's interested in buying a TV and sound system, and according to the store, it's going to cost him $14,975. He currently has $11,000 saved up in his bank account, but we also know that he can save an additional $500 a month, and we have to take taxes into consideration, which is 12%. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to figure out what is the actual total cost of the TV and sound system after taxes. So I start by calculating the taxes. I start with the original price, $14,975. I multiply by 0.12 because it's 12%, and I get that the taxes are $1,797. So the total purchase price for this sound system is going to be $16,772. So what I did there is I added the taxes with the original price together, and now this is my total. Looking at option 1 from the store, they're telling him that his first option is to pay the amount of money that he has right now, so pay the $11,000, and the rest he can do a payment plan of $300 per month for the next 24 months. So I'm going to figure out what does that look like as a total. So I start with his monthly payment. 1 month is going to cost him $300. They want him to pay that for 2 years or 24 months. So I take 300, I multiply by 24, and that means he is going to spend an extra $7,200. But that's not the total that he's paid for the sound system, right? I have to also consider the $11,000 that he put in at the beginning. So if he accepts option 1, that means that he has paid a total of $18,200 for his sound system at the end of the 2 years. Now, when considering this option, you have to think about what are the pros and cons to each side. So for me, if I look at the pros, he has a low monthly payment for his sound system. So we know that he is able to save $500 a month. So we know he can afford this. So really he's paying $300 for his sound system and he's saving the extra $200 a month. However, the con to this option, the negative part, is that he's actually paying quite a bit of interest, right? And the way that I can tell that is if I take the amount that he ends up paying after 2 years and I subtract the actual cost of the sound system, I get that he ended up paying an extra $1,000, $428 of interest. So a good option in terms of making monthly payments, but a bad option because he has to pay a high interest. The next thing I'm going to do is compare option 2. So I'm going to start over. Now, in option 2, it says that he has to put no money down, so he doesn't have to give up any of his savings, but he has to make a monthly payment of $505.60 for 36 months. So I need to know how much that's going to be. So I start with his monthly payment of $560, times it by 36 months. This means 3 years. And we end up with $18,201.60, which is actually very close to what I had in option 1. When I first started calculating the totals here, we did say that the original cost of the sound system, including taxes, was $16,772. When we did the calculations for option 1, we said that this total would be $18,200. And option 2 is showing us that the total will be $18,201.60. So not actually a really big difference. But this is where, again, we need to talk about the pros and the cons. On the pro side, because there is no money down, he gets to keep all of his savings. And what that means is that if anything were to happen to him in terms of losing a job or anything like that, he has enough money in the bank that he can sustain himself, he can continue making the monthly payments. The con here would be, again, that high monthly payments this time, even though the monthly payments are a little bit more than what he's able to save, because he has the savings already saved up, he can pay the extra $5 a month. But what that also means is that he has a high interest again as well. Also high interest. So in the first one, he had to get rid of all of his savings. But he was able to make the monthly payments. They were relatively low monthly payments, and he could still save $200 a month to build that up. But if something were to happen in option 1, he wouldn't have any backup money. In option 2, he does have the backup money, but his monthly payments are very high, so he can't save any extra money every month, and he has the high interest still. And in this question, it's giving us the option for 3 to see, is there a way that we can come up to make this payment without having to pay as much interest? So that's what I'm going to take a look at in the next slide. All right, so the original cost is $16,700. Option 1 gives me $18,200, but I have to get rid of all of the savings. Option 2, I still pay $18,200, but I get to keep my savings. So for option 3, I need to be a little bit creative here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the original cost of this sound system / TV. It is $16,772 after tax. I know that he has $11,000 saved up. So what I want to know is how many dollars short is he? So I'm going to minus 11,000 from the total, and that gives me $5,772 that he still needs in order to be able to make this work without having to give up any interest. I also know that he is able to save $500 per month. And what I want to know is how long would he have to wait in order to save up enough to pay in cash? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round off this amount. I'm going to say that he actually needs $6,000 extra. And what that allows me to do is now I can take $6,000 and I can divide by 500, which will give me 12. This means he needs an extra 12 months to save up $6,000, which is a year. So if he really wants to make sure that he has enough money to pay in cash, that he doesn't completely empty out his savings account, he doesn't use up any extra savings throughout the years, and he doesn't pay any interest, what he should do is he needs to wait 1 year, save up his $500 for an extra 12 months, so that way he has 11,000 plus 6,000, which will give him a total savings amount of $17,000. He can then go back to the store, purchase his sound system, and that will give him a remainder of $228 in his bank account, which is not a lot. He will have to use up all of his savings, but he'll have $228 in his bank account. He won't have to pay any interest, and then every month after, he can still put the full $500 back into his savings account. So I think that if he is able to wait, that he should go for option 3. However, if he's not able to wait, then I would probably do option 2, because the interest that he would pay in option 2 is very similar to the interest he would pay in option 1, but he doesn't have to use all of his savings right away.